that there is a Bangsamoro Congress, a Bangsamoro Parliament and Philippine Congress Forum that will meet and regularly to tackle issues on legislation.
Could you expand on that, because that is a feature that's not well understood. What exactly will be the function of that body? And because it to some quarters, it sounds that the question of sovereignty is immediately comes up, because if both the Bangsamoro government and the Republic of the Philippines are treated on an equal standing, then of course we are saying it might be interpreted as a sovereignty within, or rather a state within a state. So perhaps you could what you just mentioned, if you could expand on that just for our understanding, please, Attorney.
Okay. We'll ask Attorney Basman to elaborate.
Yes, with your permission.
Yes, of
Senator
course. Please go ahead.
We are one panel, Mr. Senator.
All right, then I leave it to you to decide who will answer any questions.
Yes, Senator. The Bangsamoro Parliament and the Philippine Congress Forum is meant to provide a venue for both legislative bodies, not necessarily equating the two, one being a national legislative body and the other being of regional status, to enable them to harmonize legislations that they may enact. So one clear example is the devolved power for the Bangsamoro Parliament to create, abolish, merge local government units. And we know from Supreme Court decisions and the Constitution that only Congress can expand its membership. And any enactment of the Bangsamoro Parliament that might have an effect on the powers of the National Congress will have this forum for discussion.
So I think the direction that the questions will be if there are contradictory, as you call them, enactments by the Bangsamoro legislature and the Philippine Congress. This is to be negotiated, or what is the what law will be followed?
I think, sir, the forum provides the venue to prevent contradiction, because
Yes,
even
but-
before the passage of
But
but
there will be instances where the Philippine Congress will simply not. I hearken it to a situation between an LGU, for example, and the national government. Any ordinance that is passed by any sanggunian at any point, which is in conflict with any laws passed by Congress.
honor the regular mechanisms to determine the validity of the enactment of the Bangsamoro Parliament, if in fact it goes beyond the legislative powers granted under the BBL, will apply. What is being provided in this forum, the legislative branches, to enable them to, at the first instance, prevent that kind of a contradiction. So the regular mechanism to should we say harmonize or to remove the contradiction between a national legislation and a legislation enacted by the Bangsamoro Parliament will still apply.
So how if the conflict cannot be resolved, how will it then be treated, and how will it be handled?
Ask
Yes.
the chair.
Yes, Professor.
Your Honor, just a little background on
Yes, please.
the history of that provision, which can also be found in the comprehensive agreement on the Bangsamoro and has now been translated as a provision in the proposed law, Bangsamoro Basic Law. One of the clear concern was precisely as pointed out by Attorney Basman, was the power to create local government units, including provinces. But as we know, in the Constitution, each province is required to have representation in Congress. So any creation of a new province would necessitate creation of a congressional district, congressional seat, or a slot representation in the National Congress. So concretely, it might work in the manner of simultaneously setting off the process of providing for a congressional seat for what would eventually be constituted as a province in the Bangsamoro, so that when a province is so affected by an act of parliament of the Bangsamoro government, then there will be that congressional seat that will be available. Some of the initial possibilities that may arise immediately is when there are in fact other areas that might join the Bangsamoro government as a result of the plebiscite and would require an additional a province, the creation of an additional province, and correspondingly some kind of a as well as a congressional seat. So some kind of a simultaneous action can be precipitated through that forum.
Very well. I'm sure there will be many more questions, especially on this. But as I promised our guests, we would allow them to get from the beginning to the end of their briefing. So, Attorney Alba, if you would like to proceed.
Okay, so the next slide is on the proposed Bangsamoro territory. We highlight that the proposed Bangsamoro territory shall remain as a part of the Philippines. The present
I would like to acknowledge the arrival of Senator Coco Pimentel.
area of the autonomous, the 6 Pantar, Tagoloan, and Tangkal, the 39 barangays in the municipalities of Cabacan, Carmen, Alyosan, Pigcawayan, Tikit, and Midsayap in North Cotabato, who voted yes in the 2011 plebiscite, the cities of Cotabato and Isabela, and those qualified for inclusion in the plebiscite by way of resolution or petition.
Again, can we go back one slide? You have included 6 municipalities, 39 barangays, and 2 cities. How will the administration be? Because they are non-contiguous. They will be administered by the Bangsamoro government.
Yes, yes.
And they will not fall under, for example, the barangays will not fall under their municipal government or provincial government. How will that work?
The municipalities, the 39 barangays, sir, will form part of the Bangsamoro government, but without derogation of the authority of the municipal governments over them. So the administration will be under the Bangsamoro government, but on other matters that the municipalities have authority over them, they will still exercise.
Will they, for example, have ERA share from the provincial share?
Yes, sir.
They will.
Yes, sir.
They will not be. They will. So they do not receive a share from the Bangsamoro government.
There is.
There is also.
Yes.
They will also receive another
It's not
form
actually
of,
an ERA.
No, it's not called ERA when it comes from the Bangsamoro government. But we've established that they will receive their ERA share, for example, from the national government. Will they receive further funding from the Bangsamoro government?
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, they may certainly, because the automatic appropriation to the Bangsamoro as well as the Social Development Fund is supposed to develop the entire Bangsamoro area. So
I'm
based
just-
on a Bangsamoro development plan, they may also.
Okay, what happens to the, if there's a Bangsamoro development plan and there's a provincial development plan or a regional development plan, how again do we resolve those the inevitable differences between those two plans, because the Bangsamoro is concerned with this particular area, the municipalities under which these other LGUs are reside. So maybe just give us an idea how the concept is. I know that the details are not yet hammered out, but the concept on how this power, it will be a power sharing really system is going to function. Professor, if you could
Yes, Your
enlighten
Honor.
us.
I think in the immediate period after the results of the plebiscite, these new areas that are outside of the ARM and currently belong to provinces that are not part of the ARM will exist for a temporary period as geographic areas. And that kind of transition where in fact they will get their era, whether from the original province or eventually will probably happen until such time that they are constituted as part of provinces of the Bangsamoro.
Discussed by Chairman Iqbal in his speech earlier, with all of the stakeholders, whether they be Bangsamoro or non-Bangsamoro. Just to mention that the comprehensive agreement on the Bangsamoro also government and the MNLF, and we have civil society organizations that we have partnered with to get our messages across. The Direction on Public Order and Safety, coordination between the central government and the Bangsamoro government, and maintenance of peace and order in the Bangsamoro. It's in character, region to the central government and the Bangsamoro government and to the communities it serves.
Quick question. On the chain of command of the police, will they be under the direct control of the Chief PNP? How will that work? Do they receive, can they be ordered, for example, by the regional commander or the Chief PNP to carry out some duties, or will that have to go through the police board, which is a member of the NAPOLCOM?
Yeah, Your Honor, the command and structure of the Bangsamoro police with the PNP will still be intact.
So under the chain of command, their commander, their ultimate commander will be the Chief PNP still. If an order is issued by the Chief PNP to a member of the Bangsamoro police, are they mandated? Is it their duty to follow that order, or do they take orders from the Bangsamoro Police Board or some other entity?
Your Honor, it's going to be shared power, just like in the exercise of, which is somewhat similar to the situation now with other local governments, where local governments actually exercise operational control and supervision as well over the police force under its command. In this case, the provincial police office, but at the higher level of the region, certainly the regional director is still under the chain of command of the chief police, being part and parcel of the Philippine National Police. But at the same time, the regional government, through the chief minister, also exercises operational control and supervision over the regional police force. So there's that kind of a power, some kind of shared powers.
Okay, but
between
for example, in the example, as you're to use your example, in an LGU, of course, the local, it's like the chain of command is very clear, and the ultimate commander is still the Chief PNP. There is no such thing as shared power with anyone, as long it is the commander's power to issue orders to his people. How will that be different in this sharing power that you conceived?
Your Honor, we can assume that when police matters that have implications beyond the Bangsamoro, certainly that kind of command chain of command will be exercised by the chief of police, as it will now involve other provincial police and regional police offices. For instance, a criminal element that is moving from Zamboanga City to inside the Bangsamoro, like Basilan or Maguindanao, then there will be that kind of an imperative on the part of the regional, the chief of police to directly order the regional police chief of the Bangsamoro. But we can assume for most parts on matters of public order and safety that is within the Bangsamoro, the chief minister will be exercising significant operational control and supervision over the police.
So, well, it's not only in terms of the law enforcement, but also in terms of the adoption of policy. For example, we are hearing about so-called lifestyle checks. Let's say for the PNP. Let us say that that's approved. Will that apply, for example, to also the Bangsamoro Police? It's policy rather than that's the chain of command, the power sharing, as you have. But in the adoption of policy, will they wear the same uniform? Will they have the same armaments? Will they follow the same procedures as laid out in the standard operating procedures of the Philippine National Police? How is that? Will it be? Will they be? I'm just trying to clarify exactly, because power sharing is for such an important issue is rather vague in